A horrific case of child abuse out of Deming. State police say a couple is behind bars after keeping their children in underground caves near their house. Police say they learned about the couple after their oldest child disclosed sexual abuse to a counselor.
This is a very disturbing case out of New Mexico. It involves 7 children who were forced to live in a mud cave where they were essayed by their dad, mother, and other adults that visited this cave. The children lived outside year-round, sleeping on a mattress in a semi-underground cave that had 4 to 6 foot tunnels in it that the children sometimes slept in. It's a heartbreaking case. You may have actually heard of this case, maybe a little bit, because it has really been in the media lately. Usually I do more rarely discuss crime, but this one was just so unbelievable and heartbreaking that I had to discuss it. I actually got my body cam footage from the Law and Crime video, so hopefully they don't copyright me. But I just wanted to show you what conditions these children were living in. It's just absolutely unbelievable. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, what they actually endured right while out there on that deserted, looks like hot, just depressing land that they were living on. So much trash that I don't even know how children could walk. It's just unbelievable. I'll go on with the story. But before we do, my name is Holly. Welcome to the Murder She Shed. This is the place, like I said, I usually rarely discuss true crime. I'm going to get it right here from my little she shed. If you don't mind, hit the subscribe button. I'm almost at 20,000 and I'd really appreciate your help getting there because it's a hill that's just sitting there and I can't quite conquer it. So if you help me conquer this hill, I would appreciate it. I mean, guys, it only takes you 1 second to push that button. And here you've been listening to me for a while. So if I can talk for a few minutes, you can take 1 second to push my subscribe button, can't you? Okay. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, let's start this case. This case begins in a rural area near Deming, New Mexico. The land is rocky and looks similar to a desert. Rarely a tree in sight, and it looks hot and dry. The area is so similar to a desert that part of the movie Indiana Jones was filmed in that area. Although this case seems more like the movie The Hills Have Eyes, because it involves incest, caves, and just horrible living conditions. I don't know, my mind directly went to that movie. I don't know why. Just a lot of similar things. It's just disturbing. It first starts on October 22nd, 2024, when a 16-year-old girl that we are going to call Carrie for this story. I do not actually know the little girl's name. I do know her name starts with a C, so I just made up the name for this video. I hope I didn't accidentally guess her name. I did that once. Affidavit had the letter, and then I actually guessed the real name on accident. So if I did, I apologize. I don't want to reveal the girl in any way. So it was a complete accident if that happened. Anyway, it started when Carrie was attending the Youth Challenge Academy in Roswell, which is actually an alternative school for children having trouble in, I guess, regular school. Carrie began telling an almost unbelievable story of her home life to a teacher at that academy. After the teacher had found a bite that was on her arm, the teacher then called the police to come speak to the young girl. Carrie told officers that she had 6 other siblings who were all younger than her and were from ages 14 to 6 months. The siblings and her were all being physically and sexually abused by their own parents and a few other people. The Cordell family lived on 35 acres of rural land. Officers were shocked after searching the land where the family lived. It was a semi-underground cave with tunnels dug about 4 to 6 feet deep. Tires were found in the end of these tunnels for the children to sit or lay on. The whole area where the children lived looked like a city trash landfill. There were animal skeletons, broken appliances, and clothes scattered across the rural property. A dilapidated trailer, several unlivable camping trailers, broken down vehicles, boxes of rotting food, bags of trash, along with buckets that were actually filled with human feces were all over the property. All 7 children were filthy and starved. Some of the children slept in the tunnel and some slept in abandoned vehicles on the property. Officers were taken to a trailer on the property that the family actually hadn't lived in for 10 years. But inside this trailer, they did have electricity. The trailer, however, was filled with so much junk that they had hoarded that no one could even walk inside of it, much live inside this trailer. There was a fridge with some frozen food outside of this trailer. A cord was ran outside to provide electricity to the fridge. The fridge was filthy inside. Also laying outside this trailer in a box was a small amount of food. The food was mostly yogurt and milk, which was spoiled and growing mold on it. Children were forced to eat moldy dairy products, apparently. That's all they had on this property. They had several dogs running around the property and they were drinking out of gray color water. The first time the officers had came to the property, Carrie's family was actually not found.
Let's take it easy. Are they big dogs?
Yeah, but I mean, they seem kind of scared.
They're pretty scared of us.
Okay.
So I'll see for the video.
Oh,
I'm gonna go hot.
I'm hot right now, so. Melvin Cordell and Valerie Cordell.
Melvin.
Oh, Melvin.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try to make contact with them. Hello.
You there?
I don't see the white van.
Just say hello.
Like this old white van.
It's not here.
Yeah, maybe they parked it back here. Let's go look. Hello, New Mexico State Police. Hello. New Mexico State Police.
Yeah, that looks like a bunker.
Maybe they're home, but we make the attempt, to see if they're home. Hello, guys. Hello. New Mexico State Police. Mr. Cordell. Melvin Cordell.
This ain't right, dude. This pen? Yeah. Hey, bro, this is all 73. You said county doesn't have anyone there?
Hello, New Mexico State Police. Are you guys home? I'm not sure if this down here is your guys' residence. We're trying to make contact with you guys. Hello.
They describe.
New Mexico State Police, hello.
They're right here. This is what they described.
Hello.
Is that their well?
There's Porta's bathroom stuff out here. We're just trying to make contact with you guys. Information, let's go. Hello.
This the other one? This can't be okay. What?
Bro. Hello, anyone here? Hello. This is a trampoline.
Another trampoline here.
Okay.
So,
Let's go.
Hey,
Yeah, there's 2 more.
that's holding something up. I don't know. It might lead to something they described.
I see. Yeah, there's the bed. All right, Senorita. I can't. We checked the trailer. Trailer has stuff stacked up. The door's not secured. We came check this trailer. There's stuff stacked up. The door, I could probably push it in, but I'm knocking nothing there. So the only thing that I can think of, the residence, is what was described, which is the bed, because at least that's true. That's known to be true. The little pooping containers that are everywhere.
My biggest concern is like if the kids are safe. Like there's a lot of concerns, but just like there's no like barrier. You know, one of the little ones can just straight up fall in that big old hole and really hurt themselves. That's like my biggest thing right now is like that big old drop. Because even myself trying to walk through that is a little.
Yeah. So it's your call. What else did you need?
That was it, dude.
Okay.
We could check out the other address that we have where the other girl stays.
Sometime before the second trip to the land, the officers were able to locate Carrie's siblings. And I'm not sure, the affidavit doesn't make it clear at what point that Carrie's siblings were found. What I might understand from the affidavit is that her parents were found somewhere else after they hunted that property, and that's when they located the siblings when the family was found at, I don't know if it's another person's home, but they eventually did locate the younger siblings and they took custody of them. So on the second trip to this same property, they were greeted by Melvin and Valerie Cordell, who was parents to all 7 of these children. Melvin admitted that they currently slept and lived in the cave because they could no longer get inside that trailer that authorities had seen. Half of the roof was missing on it. Inside the cave, a 6-foot hole had been dug with a mattress inside of it. There was a half roof built to cover the mattress area. There were multiple buckets with rotting food inside of them. Melvin showed them inside of an abandoned van that his oldest son actually slept in. It did have a mattress inside of this van. So the oldest son, I guess, slept in the abandoned vehicle while a lot of the other children slept inside the tunnels in the cave. There was a horse living in a small enclosed fence with only dirt under its feet. No grass, just living in mud. One section of the property had multiple animal skeletons laying around. Melvin then showed them another cave on the property that he said this is where the other children would sleep. It was about 5 feet deep and circular. One tunnel had a mattress inside. He told the officers in the winter he would cover this tunnel while his children slept so he would keep them warm. He said it was actually warm inside there. I have my doubts on that one. Maybe warmer than they were used to in the winter. The other tunnels in this area had a bucket with a toilet lid on it, and it was filled with feces. Investigators interviewed Carrie again. After Carrie's teacher had saw the bite on her arm, Carrie told her teacher that she had not been allowed to eat for 2 days because she had been in trouble from her parents. This is when her teacher called Child Protective Services. Carrie said her parents told her that she could earn food back when they had decided it was time for her to eat again. All her siblings were given no food for 2 days as punishment, except the 2 and 5-year-old who were only made to go 1 day without food. The 6-month-old baby was punished by not being allowed to breastfeed for 6 hours. It's so crazy to me because a 6-month-old would not even know about punishment or what they would have done wrong. Just too little to even know right from wrong. So I don't know. That was weird. After staying with their foster parents for a few months, Carrie began to open up more and also kept a diary to help her cope with the trauma. She admitted to the essay that she had endured from her father. She also said that she had been pregnant when she was 13 and also again when she had turned 16. Her parents performed 2 at-home abortions on her inside that filthy cave. Child went through all that abuse and then had to go through that pain of having an abortion inside that awful hellhole. I call it a hellhole. Carrie said she was unsure if her father was the dad or other men that would come to the property to her. And they also abused the other siblings when they came. She said her siblings and her were forced to perform acts with each other in front of the other adults. These adults that came to the property also were allowed to take pictures of these babies naked. And I'm sure they probably put it on the deep web or something. They shared it with other sickos. These poor children will probably have to live with their images being out there the rest of their life. Carrie's essay had started when she was around 12. And I guess the other ones were, as far as touching, started younger than that because it sounded like they were pretty much making all the children do something. According to the affidavit, I don't know. It's just disturbing. All I know is I hope these children are able to find justice, but also to recover, which is going to be a hard, long process. I hope they found the right foster families that can help them make a recovery. I know you don't fully recover. You never do. And I was essayed when I was 6 by a neighbor, and I never fully recovered. And I've had therapy and everything. And I just don't think you ever fully get over something like this. And this was her own parents. I just can't even imagine the pain physically, mentally that they went through and are continuing to go through. So I hope now they do have a good foster family to help them recover from all this. Melvin was charged with 24 felonies. Those charges include multiple counts of criminal penetration, child abuse, and aggravated battery. Then Valerie, the mom, 41, was charged with 16 counts of child abuse, 1 count of criminal penetration, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit child abuse.
I was told that I would be meeting Officer Carrillo.
He's on his way right now. Okay, so maybe another 5 minutes or so. All right?
I need to get my wife a chair.
A chair?
And she's probably thirsty after eating small.
Did she, you guys don't want to sit in the car for a second? I mean, that we have the air conditioner and stuff, and then we see, because they'll be here in about 5 minutes, and then you guys can talk to Agent Carrillo and stuff.
I hope they get put in prison for life and they get punishment back. I'll just say that. They get what they deserve in prison from the other inmates. You do that kind of thing to your children. That's just unbelievable that anybody has that sick of a mind to do things like this. Make your children live in those conditions and then force them to be abused in every way possible. They're just disturbing. I wouldn't call them parents, just monsters. Anyway, before we go, I'll let you say bye to my little doggies. I'm not sure. I know Max is behind me. Maxie Pad, where you at? Maxie Pad. Sometimes I call him Maxie Pad. I know that's awful. Hey, baby. Did you just belch? That was pleasant. No armpit licking. Ah, it's out too. You making a show today. Where's Simon? I see him Simon running as fast as he can run. He's coming to tell y'all bye. He'll be here in a second. I see him. There he is. Max is going to fight him so he can't come in. They like to fight. That's their typical. Tell him bye. Say we'll see you next time at the barber shed. Oh, he wants to get up in front. He likes to knock my mic off. Oh, you're muddy, Bob. I love you too, but you're muddy. I love a hug, but maybe not right now. Maybe later. Maybe when I clean you. That'd be nice when I clean you. All right. See y'all. Oh, wow. You ought to see my legs. They're like brown now. All right. See y'all later. Bye. My white legs are just filthy. Okay. And so are my shorts. I look like I pooped my pants. All right. Love y'all. Bye.